Okay, this is your Unit 1 test study guide. So we start at number 20, and 20 through 25 is just straight up typing these in the calculator exactly how you see them. If you don't remember how to do absolute values, you hit alpha, y equals, like you're making a fraction, and then you'll hit the arrow key and go over, and then hit enter, and that'll pull up the absolute value bars. So I'm just going to tell you the answers to these, and you put them in your calculator and make sure you get what I got. So number 20, I got 26. 21, I got 14. 22, I got 5. 23, I got negative 15. And remember, when you see these brackets, you just use extra parentheses. Number 24, I got a 5. And number 25, I got a 9. 26 is where we plug stuff back in. So the first thing I'm going to do is put these guys in parentheses over here. So 3x to the third minus 8y squared. Instead of that x, I'm going to fill it in with the 2 in parentheses. Instead of that y, I'm going to fill it in with the negative 3. You type that straight up in your calculator, you should get negative 48. For 27, it's the same thing. We're just plugging stuff in. Absolute value, instead of a, I'm going to put a parenthesis 7 minus 4, parenthesis 2, absolute value. When you do that one, you should end up with the number 1. For number 28, put parentheses around these guys so I remember. Instead of w, I'm going to say negative 2 squared plus 2. X is negative 3, y is 1. You type that in your calculator, you'll get a negative 2. Number 29, 7, parentheses, negative 4 squared. Notice I always put that squared on the outside because it's not on the inside, it's always on the outside, plus 5 over. And when you type this in your calculator, you'll have to start with the fraction, with the alpha y equals, and start with the fraction. 4, 1 minus negative 5. When you type that in, you should get 13. All right, flip to the next page for me. You might want to grab your notes for this. So, the product of a number and 7 increased by 3. Well, we know that product means multiplication. I'm going to use n for my number. So the product of a number and 7. So that means n times 7. But in big boy grown-up math land, we write 7n increased by plus 3. Number 31, less than is a turnaround phrase. So twice the number will go in the front and 1 will go in the back. Twice the number. That means I multiply something by 2. So 2n less than is minus 1. 4 times the difference of a number and 9. Remember when we have the difference of whatever, we use parentheses. So 4 times, difference means subtract, n minus 9 is equal negative 30. 5 more than is plus. Quotient means divide. A number divided by 8 is, it's an equal sign, 42. The auditorium can hold a maximum of 115 people. So the auditorium has to have less than or equal to 150 people. It can't go over that number. So it has to be less than or equal to. You must be at least 25 to rent a car. So that would mean you have to be greater than or equal to the age of 25. These are simplifying expressions. We're just putting like terms together. Who goes with the 1n? The minus 5n. 1 minus 5 is negative 4n. The 4 minus 9 go together. That gets me a -5. 4n minus 5. 7x goes minus 3x is 4x. Negative 4y minus 8y is negative 12y. Negative 8 plus 12 is plus 4. This one we have to distribute before we can do anything. 18 minus 8x minus 14 plus 5x. 18 minus 14 is 4. Negative 8 plus 5 is negative 3x. This one is also distributive. We got to do two different sets of distributing. 9x minus 27 minus 1x minus 2. I just distributed the 9 to the x and the negative 3 and the negative 1 to the x and the 2. 9 minus 1 is 8x. Negative 27 minus 2 is negative 29. All right, these look hard, but they're actually easier than the others. We're just going to find the perimeter, we add all the sides. So the first side, 2x minus 6, I'm going to add it to x plus 8, and I'm going to add it to 3x plus 1. 2 plus 1 plus 3, that's 6x. Negative 6 plus 8 plus 1 is a 3. And the last one, I need to know what all the sides are so I can add them all. So we know that the top is really 2v plus 13 and the side is v minus 5. So now we just add them all. 2v plus 13 plus v minus 5 plus 2v plus 13 plus v minus 5. 2v, 1v, that's 3, 4, 5. We got 6 v's. 13 minus 5 is an 8, plus 13 is 21, minus 5 is 16. For this, we're doing two-step equations. So the first thing I have to do to solve this is to add 7 to both sides. 3x equals 18. If I divide by 3, x equals 6. This one, we're going to start by subtracting 8. X over 4 equals negative 5. And now we know that the x is being divided by 4, so we got to multiply by 4 to get that to cancel out. X equals negative 20. All right, back side, then we're done. On 44, first we're going to add 3. I get 2 over 5x equals negative 14. And now I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, 5 over 2. That cancels out. I got an x left on the left and negative 35 when I multiply negative 14 by 5 over 2. I get negative 35 on the right. This one, this 9 is a positive 9, so I'm going to have to subtract him to get him to cancel out. Negative 7x equals 7. Divide by negative 7, x equals negative 1. This one is the same thing. I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides because that'll make that cancel out. I end up with negative 3 over 4x equals 48. I'm going to multiply that by negative 4 over 3. And when I type that in my calculator, I get x equals negative 64. This one's a tad different because the x and the 17 are kind of up there on their own, and there's a division bar. So the first thing I'm going to do is multiply by 3. Then I get x minus 17 equals negative 9. Add 17. X equals 8. These are our last set of problems. The first thing I need to do is subtract 5 from both sides. 3x is less than 9. Divide by 3. X is less than 3. So it's an open circle on the 3, and my arrow will go that way. All right, let's do 49. Subtract 2. Negative 5x is less than or equal to 50. I'm going to divide by a negative 5. When you move a negative, what do we have to do? We have to flip the sign. X, flip him over, negative 10. So it's a closed circle on negative 10, and the arrow will go that way. I'm going to subtract 11 from both sides. X over negative 2 is less than or equal to 4. To get rid of that divided by negative 2, I got to multiply by negative 2. And I just moved a negative, so x is going to be greater than or equal to negative 8, close circle, negative 8. All right. We got to add 1 here. 4x is less than or equal to negative 36. If I divide by 4, notice I did not move a negative by division, so I just end up with x is less than or equal to negative 9. Close circle, negative 9. Goes that way. For 52, I've got to start by adding the 1. 5 over 8x less than or equal to 10. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. You could also divide by 5 over 8. Either way, it'll give you the same answer. I'm left with x equals 16. Not equals, I'm sorry, is less than or equal to. Close circle on 16. Arrow goes that way. For this one, I have to move that 4. He's positive, so to move him, I got to subtract. Negative x over 7 is less than 1. I'm going to multiply by negative 7 to get rid of that. Well, I just moved a negative, so x is going to be greater than negative 7. That would be an open circle, and it goes to the right. This one, I got to move my 18. I'm going to subtract him to move him. Negative 2x equals negative 14. Divide by negative 2. I keep saying equals. Pause. Up here, negative, it's greater than, but now that I just moved a negative, I got to flip it around to less than 7. Open circle 7 goes that way. Last one. Got to subtract 8. Negative 3 over 2x is less than or equal to negative 21. I'm going to multiply by negative 2 over 3. I end up with x, and I moved a negative, so I'm going to have to flip it, less than or equal to 14. So solid 14 that way. All right. Make sure you have all the answers for your study guide. We will have a test tomorrow. Bye.